That's what I do. I do for
Hi, I'm Carol Kahn, and I am here at the Rock of Ages Theater at the Venetian in Las Vegas, here with rock star photographer Mark Weiss. It's like you feel like now that you're part of history. You're part of history of really the Rock of Ages.
Well, when the songs that they do, I Want to Rock, and they play them on there, and it's like, you know, I was there when they were recording it, and then when we were doing the album cover, when everything was going along, and then we went to the PMRC, where the movie is very based around, you know, the PMRC hearings. I mean, really, the movie Rock of Ages is very based on, you know, the picket signs and the kids, you know, trying to, you know, protest. You know, it wasn't even the kids doing it. It was the parents giving these signs to these kids. They didn't even know they were holding. But, you know, these innocent kids are holding these signs. You know, music is, you know, evil and whatnot. So documenting that, me going with D, was really interesting. And then me going in you can see YouTube clips of me in there behind Frank Zappa or John Denver, walking behind him with my cameras and my long hair, and then you see them talking about these photographs on the screen with Tipper Gore and Al was there, and they're talking about my photos, saying who would think of such, you know, concepts, and you know, they're thinking like it's the band, but it was the photographer. It said, you know, do this, and it was just for reaction, and you know, they kind of made a big deal about it. But I was the one taking the pictures that were flashing across the Senate hearing, so that was kind of that made me feel kind of like, you know, part of history, I guess. You know, when I first shot Ozzy Osbourne, it was my first cover shoot for Circus, and I couldn't believe I'm shooting like 21 years old, and I'm shooting Ozzy, and he's actually taking, you know, he's just standing there, and I'm like, wait a minute, I got to get him to do something. So, you know, I'm actually telling Ozzy what to do, you know. So it was kind of that's kind of what I got into it really quick. I haven't even done a lot of photo shoots, and then all of a sudden I'm shooting Ozzy Osbourne, and he's listening to what I say, you know. And then I started having fun with it, and I started goofing around. And I say, do this, do that, and then, you know, and next thing you know, I remember the first time he yelled, "Sharon, like, get me out of here," you know. So, you know, and we just developed a relationship over the years. You know, I shot his kids, and you know, just still to this day, I'm still very close with him. Well, let's start off with Dee Snider. I mean, my first album cover was "Stay Hungry." Dee called me up and said, the record companies want us to use, like, you know, a corporate guy, and they said we wanted a rock photographer, and I was in all the magazines, but I never did any album covers yet. So he kind of like, he told me the concept, and I built this set in the studio, and I got the bone, and at the end, it was supposed to be a different cover with the whole band in it, but it didn't work. It didn't work with the band. It was too posed. So at the end, I did individuals, and then I did these individuals last. I threw him the bone. He started going nuts, hitting all over the place, and you know, I think the police even called, like, oh, what the hell's going on there? And then they came in, and they see D with a bone. I'm like, you know, I said, we're doing the album cover. But that was the photo they used. It wasn't planned. And what I found out later was that photo almost broke the band up, because it was supposed to be a band photo, but it was a conscious effort afterwards that they used that photo. But it wasn't planned. It's just like the record company's like, no, this is the magic photo. But meanwhile, it's supposed to be a band photo. And,
One of the things that impresses me is that you have taken and captured memories for a lot of these rock stars. But what is it that you want to be remembered by?
Just as me taking pictures of the rock stars. You know, I always got in the pictures with them. You know, so I think we're talking about making like a wall of shame. You know, Weiss guy's wall of shame with pictures of me and the bands back from the day. There's actually a picture of me and John over here from when we did Slippery and Wet. So stuff like this. That's me and John from the set. So you know, it connects me with the era. So I have pictures of all these guys. There's Skid Row. I introduced Sebastian to the band, Skid Row, and they became huge. Zach Wilde. I introduced Zach Wilde to Ozzy Osbourne. So, I mean, besides being a photographer, I connected people, which really changed, a lot of people's lives too. Because it wouldn't be a Skid Row if I wasn't there. If I didn't meet Sebastian and his band Madam X, who knows what Ozzy's path would have been if I didn't bring him Zach Wilde. I mean, he would have been another guitar player, but it would have been a whole other path. His whole life, I actually changed rock and roll lives, I wanna rock!
Well, one thing Bret Michaels has said is that you shoot people that have a passion, yet you're the one that actually has the passion for your work.
Well, we both do, That's why we have mutual respect, It's like they know I'm not just doing this for a paycheck, They know I could care less. I mean, I really didn't make any money back then. Everything I made was I hired people to get me more photo shoots, to organize more things, to get it in the magazines, So it was really a wash, but you can't say it was a wash because now I have all these, it's like I have something that I have something to say for myself that I've done. You can't take these away from me, I wanna rock! Okay.
All right, what's that? You testing?
No. I was just what I look like.
Wait, let me share. Wait, how do I look? Okay.
All right.
All right, we're good.
Okay.
An intro.
Maybe I should be, if we're going to walk this way, can I go on this side? Or be for the other side?
I don't know, do I have a bad side or a good side? It's all part of the reel.
Okay.
Oh, you got a good side? Is that your good side?
Definitely.
All right, good. All right.
It's not that I have a good side, I have a bad side.
Oh, all right. Well, we won't get the bad side.
Okay.
All right.
So listen,
All right.
I remember when I shot Ozzy, I used to mumble. And, I was very soft-spoken. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, that's it. Because when you can't hear me, you lean forward and it's more natural. So I always, when I talk to people, I go, say what? And you lean forward and it makes the chin a little bit better.